prevent the pain that I caused my family. Again, I didn't ever make a choice to hurt them or do things knowing it would hurt them, but you get so lost in these things that you're causing such pain without being aware of it. You know, but you don't know. Like, you, on a subconscious level, you're aware, like, man, what you're doing is messed up, but you don't fully realize the pain and the misery you put the most important people in your life through until afterwards.
So Kyle, as an active addict, he was a master. I mean, we were together for 10 years. I had a very small clue that he was, that it was as bad as it was. He was very functional as an addict. And I had witnessed him in the hospital multiple times where they were giving him medications, and saw that he had a very high tolerance. So when I would see, my husband take all these medications, I just assumed that he was a horse and would just burn, he had a high metabolism and would burn through them, and never really thought anything of it because he did go to work, because he would still be able to speak and hold conversations and not seem off at all. It wasn't until, the end, probably the last 6 months or so that they're really, started, the problem of it became a lot more apparent. I actually have what I think is a couple of videos of him almost ODing on me. There was one time when our daughter was sitting by me and he was really out of it, and we were trying to get him water. I was wanting to try to help flush it out of his system, and I didn't want her to worry. So I was just, telling her that he just, if I gave him some water and had him eat some bread, that would help soak it up, and, he would be okay. There was a couple of times where he would try to get out of bed and would just kind of go to the floor and just sit slumped over and just kind of passed out that way. And I was always worried that if I brought more attention to it, then, trying to handle it, that people who didn't know how bad it would be kind of brought out, and there'd be more problems created from it. So I always tried to kind of, protect our kids from knowing how bad it was, and still try to help him as much as I could, not knowing exactly how bad it really truly was. That, he desperately needed help at that point. And, I don't know that I always made the best choice of trying to, almost, I guess, enable him, and protect, everybody else from knowing what was going on at the time.
I don't know exactly when, but over time I just realized that he wasn't the son that I remembered. In fact, I remember there was a period there that I used to tell my wife I was afraid of the phone ringing during the night, that something bad would have happened to Kyle. And so I don't know if I ever felt hopeless, because we have a big God, and so I always believed that God would protect him, and that God ultimately would bring him unto himself, because I knew that foundation was laid in Kyle as a young man. But there were periods where it was scary, and again I feared about getting a phone call in the middle of the night. It's like seeing my son back.
Kyle is a very determined human being. He has such drive and passion in him. I am constantly amazed by him. It's almost like a chameleon of growth. Like he really opened the doors to a life that I have never experienced with anyone.
A lot happier, a lot more positive. It's literally like he's a completely different person. I'm really proud of him, that he has like done something to help other people, and that he's like aware of what he has done. And I just hope that he comes across the right people and can help someone else.
She was the one who still lived here when it was bad at the end. Put this little girl through a lot. If I can just reach one dad or one doctor from writing that script, or one kid to reach out, or if just one person, and save them from going through or seeing the things that my wife saw, that my kids saw. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about the day that my family came and talked to me and was like, we got a problem here. And I was sitting right here. My oldest daughter was sitting right there. And my dad was sitting over here, and I don't know what my dad was saying, but he was talking to me. And I was sitting there, and the pain that was on my daughter's face, and the realization had hit me that that's from you. You did that. Like, that pain is from your choices. I'm doing this to help eliminate some of the embarrassment that comes with this addiction. Because it starts so innocently and it starts so differently, there's an embarrassment associated with a pill addiction that I don't think is with any other addiction. This addiction it starts so innocently. It starts from a doctor. A lot of times you have an issue before you even realize that having an issue is a possibility. And there's a certain amount of embarrassment that comes with that. There's a vulnerability that comes with that. There's a embarrassment. There's you don't feel worthy. You just feel lost, and it's a slow process. And once you get to a point of realizing that you've got a pill addiction, and you question how you got here, how did this happen to you? There's all these things that race through your mind, and unfortunately, one of the biggest things that runs through your head is an embarrassment. And this embarrassment is that this happened to you. How did I get here? I'm not a drug addict. I'm taking pills from my doctor, and on and on and on. And I want to eliminate that. It's okay that you have an issue with pills. Like, these things are very addictive. These things change how your body works. These things reprogram your brain that you need them in a very short period. There's all kinds of studies out there that show that. And I want to shed light in a very dark area and let people know it's okay that this happened. You can change this. You can work through this. You can fix this. You can get off of these things. You can get your life back. You can live a healthy, happy, normal, productive life. And these pills can not be a part of that life. You can get over them. You can get off of them, and you can get your life back. And I want to let people know that that's a possibility. It's not easy to do. It's going to be one of the toughest things you've ever done in your life. But once you do it, once you get these things behind you, your world changes so much. I can't even put into words how much your world changes. So I want to let people know that it's okay. It happens. It happens to millions of people. And you can change it, you can fix it, and you can get your life back.